Hi, guys. Good evening. Welcome back once again to the EdWord. I'm your host, Eddie, and in tonight's video, I'll be doing my episode review and recap for episode 3 of the X-Files miniseries titled Mulder and Scully Meet the Were-Monster. Now, before I begin, of course, with all of my episode review videos, please be advised that this contains spoilers for the episode I'm about to cover, and if you're not caught up on the X-Files miniseries, or at least up till this episode, do not keep watching or listening to this video, as I will be discussing big spoilers in this episode, because this one turned out to be quite a surprise. So you have been warned. That being said, what a fun episode. I can't recall. Actually, I can. I can't say I watched it when it was originally on because I didn't, but there was one episode of the X-Files that was very amusing. It made you grin, made you smile and chuckle and laugh at times. It was the episode from season 5, I think it was, and it featured the actor Luke Wilson as the guest star sheriff, and Mulder and Scully tell two different versions about a case of investigating vampires in a small Texas town. And that was a pretty funny episode. But this episode, the one that I just watched, was really funny. I knew it was going to be the Monster of the Week episode, but I didn't know how they were going to play it out. I mean, they set us up so much like halfway through it. It follows a typical Monster of the Week storyline. They're following a trail of gruesome, unexplained murders, and then recent attacks and recent sightings and recent encounters. And it had everything for a Monster of the Week episode. And then they turned it around on us. They completely surprised us. And I gotta say, I really dug it. I thought it was a very interesting move, an interesting way, an amusing way to tell the story and keep the audience engaged. I thought it was quite good. It was quite clever. They made it they made it so like we saw the perspective of the creature. In this case, it was this this creature capable of camouflage that apparently lives in the woods, and it's kind of like a chameleon almost, although it insists that it's not a reptile when it's talking to Mulder later. And it's like we see his point of view, and he tells his story to Mulder later towards the end of the episode about everything that's happening to prove he's not the one who's been killing people by biting them in the throats and ripping them out and killing them. And God, when he's telling his story and he starts bullshitting Mulder and lying about the sex he has with Scully and the scenario that follows, I just lost it because at first I'm like, oh, this cannot be real. No, 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 no. As soon as she starts talking about her phone doesn't work because guys can't send pictures of their junk to her, I'm like, yeah, this cannot be real. This did not happen. And then later, she's like, stop, stop. And Mulder's like, stop. That did not happen. And the creature acts like a human because he was attacked and bitten on the neck by by a human being, and at first we don't know who it is, and then it turns out, oh my gosh, what a twist! It is the cowardly animal control officer. It turns out he has been going around the local area, and he was attacking human beings while biting them on the throat like an animal and ripping a slab of flesh off. And Scully was able to figure this out and prove it when she did an autopsy on one of the murder victims. And what was so great about this episode is that Mulder is battling his own beliefs and inner demons in terms of like, were the last 16 years of my life, total horseshit. Was it all worth it? Was I just being lied to? Why did I believe in all this crap? He really goes into this big spiel with Scully about like, what if ever, and he points out all these things that were proven to be false or to be hoaxes. And for the first part of the investigation in this episode, he's quite skeptical about what they're really looking for or who they're looking for. And then there's this funny scene in the motel room where he tells Scully all of his theories about the creature they're looking for, and then he finishes his thoughts with saying something like, and then you, Scully, will say, but Mulder, that would defy all known unknown laws and logic of science. I know that, Scully. It's like he knows her so well at this point in their relationship. He can predict almost exactly what she would say to him when he would come up with some kind of crazy claim like that, like all the theories he was coming up with. It just felt extremely nostalgic, a great throwback to a classic Monster of the Week episode on The X-Files, where Mulder comes up with all of the outlandish, wild theories, and Scully has to correct him in the name of science and rationality. But Mulder does that himself to himself, and Scully just sits back, smiling, kind of enjoying the show. She's like, "Mm-hmm, yeah, that's what I would say." Overall, very entertaining episode. Very entertaining. It wasn't the Monster of the Week episode I was expecting. Nonetheless, I was very pleased with it. It was extremely amusing and quite funny to listen to the story of this forest creature that can camouflage, and how it's bitten by a human and therefore briefly turns into a human, keeps changing back and forth. And and he really hates it. He doesn't like being a human. He prefers to be his own kind, whatever his species is. And I just it was a very interesting way of telling a story, like in the form of Monster of the Week episode. So I really enjoyed it. I know a lot of people did not care for this episode. I mean, most of the reviews that I've read and seen, have said nothing but positive and how much this was such a great, enjoyable episode. But some people, understandably so, felt like they were ripped off from the promised Monster of the Week episode. They were probably looking forward to something that was going to be more thrilling and scary and exciting, like a Monster of the Week episode usually was. But that was not the case, unfortunately for them. I still enjoyed it. We still got to see a really cool monster. And, halfway through the episode, we think it's going one direction, and then they turn it around on us, and it goes in a completely another direction. And I thought that was very, very cool. Overall, great episode. I hope you guys liked it too. And again, I hope for those of you who haven't seen it yet, I hope you don't feel like I've ruined it for you if you kept watching or listening to this video. As I warned you, you should not do. But, oh well. Anyway, thank you so much for tuning in, you guys, here on the EdWord for all of your episode review and recap needs. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button to subscribe for more videos and upcoming content. Of course, I'll be doing episode review videos for the next 3 X-Files episodes we will be getting. It sounds like they're going to get back on track with a more serious episode next week, and I think they'll continue their arc from there, because I think this episode was the one, standalone episode, since it was the Monster of the Week episode. Excuse me. Well, guys, thanks again for tuning in. I hope you have a great rest of the night. Don't forget to tune in on Fox Monday nights for new episodes of The X-Files for the next 3 weeks. All right, everybody, have a great rest of the night. Thanks for watching. And, of course, until next time, the truth is out there.